And welcome to STONXCAST. Is that how we're going to start it now?
Yeah,
As if
maybe.
we're like, just like... I got time for that. Hello, welcome to STONXCAST. My name is James Orashima. He is Ollie or Score Unknown. We make drum and bass and other music. And this is our weekly roundup stream. This week focusing on our newest release, Adapt and Survive, which was out on Spotify on December the 3rd. So we are going to be taking a look through a couple, if not all. We're going to try and get like a little bit done of each of them maybe, but we're going to focus on Adapt and Survive in Dauer State out of the EP, aren't we?
Yeah, track 2 and 3.
Yeah. You
and
did the
then...
same thing. You just no actual amount of fingers came up there. You just sort of went... Meh.
2 or 3.
I always get to the last
Track
one and it's like...
My fingers are freezing at the moment. I'm just trying to wait
Mine
for
are
fire to
honestly
get on.
completely warm and well, like quite supple as well, but I just can't get the messages down my hand.
Well, you see, I'm in space again this week.
Yeah, and I am, if you look, I am just hypnotising you all. I've gone Paul McKenna, or if you're in the US, who's a US hypnotist? Who does that kind of thing? Imagine if Jerry Springer made you do stuff. Like that would be what it was like. So anyway, I'm hypnotising you in the background. This is a bit. I'll probably change this halfway through, but this is a
Stop
bit.
everyone throwing up.
Yeah, I made a fun advert because I got really bored when I was making adverts for our new release, Adapt and Survive, out on Spotify on December the 3rd, which was 3 days ago now. And I was having some fun, and I decided to do some jokes, subliminal stuff, which is why we got the old spinning stuff. This was the idea all the time.
There was
though.
like 5 of them on screen. Wasn't
Yeah,
there?
if you look like further up, like here and here and here, there's loads of them, and it says you will listen to our EP, stream our EP, and live well with your fellow humans or something. I'm trying to get a bit of a subliminal vibe going on, so that's why that's in the background. But that was made for that, wasn't it? Look at it. You could lose years in that. Anyway, to matters. So yeah, we're going to be looking through some of the tracks. Score's got Ableton, and I will be sort of commentating / asking questions, playing the role of the audience as we look through these tracks. So should we?
And
just crack
ask
on?
anything.
Yeah.
I'll just say ask anything in chat if you're watching along, and if not, if you're watching on.
Quickly.
I've got my chat up here.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly.
And if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, hopefully we've covered everything you want to know.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube after the fact or just at any point in the future, I hope things are okay.
I'm going to screen share, so do you need to change the overlay?
Yeah, so, well, not the overlay, I need to change the scene, and we need to do it in tandem with each other. Right,
nice.
So you give me an idea of when you're going to Ableton, and I'll...
Well, I'm ready. You can count me down.
All right. I don't know if we have to do a countdown then. I might just be able to change the scene, because it'll change what the camera is, won't it? So let's try this.
I
right.
don't know.
So let's go and have a look into the track. Oh, I thought it had all gone wrong, but it just took a while. Look at that.
Brilliant.
I love this still. Right, so yeah, this is... which track are we looking at first, Ollie?
We are in Adapt and Survive.
Right,
first.
Adapt and Survive.
Should
So
we look
that's
at
the
this
one
first?
that goes...
It's the heavy one.
Boom, boom,
Yeah, pretty much. Should we play them the drop?
yeah, or you could play them it.
Let's go to drop here. It goes like this.
I think it's a good skiing one.
I'm in MME mode for the sharing, so there might be a few CPU crackles up here.
There was a little fart at the start, but it seemed to be progressing.
Cool. Otherwise, we're like hitting 2,000,000% in the top right. So there's a lot going on with this track.
Yeah, so why don't we start with sort of like the idea behind the track? What made you? Because you started writing this one. So what was it? Where was the first sort of trigger point for it?
The first trigger point was Joe Ford's new EP.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
I remember.
the track Into Dark, was it?
Yeah.
I think Into the Dark, and it's just it was so fucking heavy. And I was just like, yes, we've not done anything that heavy in a while.
Yeah, but it wasn't always the way it was now, was it?
No, we've changed it quite a lot. The other thing that influenced this one quite heavily was Noiser track. What was it?
Every
Noiser track ever. I can't remember. I was listening to one and they did this kind of really long build up with just the bass sound design. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. We need to get on that. And we were struggling with the build up. We had this kind of like stompy build up section.
Yeah.
And it was a bit shit. And then we replaced it with this like big
sound
design.
Sorry,
sound
I'm just
design
jamming
riff.
this on our story, but it was a sort of a last minute switch up, wasn't it? Because we had it one way for quite a long time, and neither one of us could work out why we weren't happy with it, because we liked every element of it, and then there was just something about it that we were both like, ooh, it was like a really good showcase of sound design, and it just needed that bit to sort of, you know, that extra sheen that gives it the like, just,
it just needed to sit there and just everyone go, fuck, what's that? The other thing though is the drums. We changed almost all the drums at the end of this, and it just, that really helped everything place properly as well. So what should we jump into first? Let's have a look at the drums because they're mad. Actually, let's just start with our template because you'll notice this on all of our tracks.
Yeah, we can always go through the template and just let them know what's going on. So just go from top to bottom.
Yeah, we've mentioned it a few times, but we've got drums, everything else, and then sub bass, and then we usually get a few stragglers, which are like.
Didn't we get told to sidechain the sub the other day though?
Yeah, and I think I have sidechained the sub, but I've still kept it separate to everything else, so it sidechains on its own. I don't know why. I just feel like sub basses interact with things a lot more.
Yeah,
So,
I do feel you on that one. It was definitely something I wasn't like native to wanting to do that.
But everything else has bass, pads, and SFX in it, and all of them go to everything else, which just sidechains them to our kick and our snare. But yeah, these drums, let's have a look into there. Pretty much the basis of this song is cut up breaks.
Yeah.
Pretty much, isn't it? That's how we got all of the vibe.
It's an Amen to the Amen song.
An Amen to the Amen. So we got here's our track of just breaks. I'll have to play that.
I could just listen to that.
I know, it's good, isn't it? So that repeats, and there's a little cut up, a bit different at the end here. If you zoom in, we're just going to chop them. And then the second drop, just slightly different again.
That's groovy.
Yeah, so they're a bit weird because we get rid of all of the low end and some of the high end in this case, because when I was mixing it, it was getting in the way of stuff.
Apologies.
Big compressor, and I don't know what we've got the dynamics on Ozone 9, and I don't know why. Oh, doing dynamic EQ for.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that the Ozone one?
One bit. I think that might have been actually just right at the end when we were doing a final mix. You said one of the hi-hats on one of these breaks was popping through too much on one of the sets of speakers. Okay. I think that was my lazy fix for it. I just found the frequency and put a dynamic EQ.
That's no bad thing though.
No, it works. So everything else in this drum channel is pretty much fortifying those breaks.
Right, it's on the story. Sorry, I can come back in full force now.
It's all good. So
just got to make sure I get that social reach. I've got fans now.
We got our kick, a bunch of snares as always, because I'm always looking for the perfect snare.
Yeah, so just put all of them in and then just pull them bits out. How many we got there? Is that 3? 4?
I think there's only 2 being used in this section. So you can hear it's still those main breaks, but we've just reinforced that kick up here with our own thick kick, which is why we scooped the lows out of the other kick.
It's quite a cooked kick, actually.
Yeah. Probably why it sounds so fat.
Yeah.
And then
it made someone from UKF just start like smacking their head around.
I think this was one of the ones that we've used quite a bit. D&B snare, which is one that I've just saved from one of our previous tracks. And weirdly, in this case, I've taken all of the 200 out, the donk.
Oh yeah, so it's just a pure slapper.
But you can still hear the donk in there because I must have processed it so much. Horsehead's here, hello mate, you've adapted, but will you survive? I don't know, hopefully so. So if we've taken all the donk out, all the 200 out of that snare, I'm guessing this one's just got all of the donk.
Yeah.
And there's no processing on this, so it was either flattened or I don't know.
Oh. It has.
That's weird.
Still
and
everything
together,
but, really.
But then we've also got the snare in here.
Yeah.
Taking up frequencies.
What's really nice is sometimes is the way the frequencies, and a lot of people will complain about this, but the way the frequencies interplay with like older breaks and new sampled snares, I quite like it.
I think it makes it sound like the overall snare is changing way more than it is.
Yeah, it gives it. What you're trying to do is you're just trying to put the human back into everything, aren't you?
Altogether, it kind of just gives even though these ones don't change, it just gets it takes all the groove from there without using groove pool or anything like that. And then I think we just put some totally simple hats underneath it, 16ths or probably.
Yeah, it's the probability,
these are the probability hats, yeah. And then that just gives a it's probably not even necessary really, which adds a little kind of ticking at the top.
Yeah, it's nice.
And we liked it.
You'd notice it if it was gone.
I think the intro section has a lot of these other snares which ended up getting turned off, where we've not used the breaks in the intro. This is just the drum beat that we've programmed, and it's got a lot more kind of so where we don't have the breaks filling in all of that stuff, we've got these kind of
djembe styly things,
rolls and djembes, little kick rolls, a little djembe pitched up thing or whatever. Pitched up kick, little djembe thing, little pot knock, bit of foley.
He loves a pot knock.
And that just really helps between the beat. And I think it's the same snare. We've got another snare here.
I thought
just that snare. So it's just the high layer from later on. So this intro section is still quite heavy. I'll just play everything together, but having the drums not at full capacity really makes the drop stand out, where we get all those breaks and all the insane stuff. You could hear there it sounded like one of the breaks down here. Horse has just said your laid-back demeanour is completely contrasting your background.
It's just like, hey everyone. I like it though. I feel like I can harness the energy.
Just got some spam in chat, sorry.
It's alright. What did you say? Is it good spam? Cook spam?
Nah, want to become famous?
Yes.
No,
please.
And then I think we got some other hats in here that kind of build up, which is just white noise, I think. Literally just some white noise. Yeah, white noise. Just because.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, that's it.
It's almost like I know these tunes.
Yeah, that all really helps that. And then what processing have we got on the drums? Utility turning it up, a limiter, EQ, and okay, yeah, I got there's something we should mention about all of these songs. We cooked this EP.
We nearly had a nervous breakdown.
I got Oxford Inflator on the cheap, like before Black Friday and everything.
He got well excited.
So I just remember back in 2010 to 2012, it was like, was it Bear Noise?
Yeah.
He came out just saying like, this is just the secret sauce to just smash every dubstep noise into oblivion. And back then we really didn't know what it did or anything. Yeah. It was just like a magic sauce. But this time round I learned I learned it. Went and found the guy who made it in a forum talking about how it should be used in conjunction with limiters and
oh, nice.
Difference of putting it before and after and stuff like that. And yeah, so there was a big page of him saying how to use it best. So this is something we do right at the end of the mix. It's like, I suppose it's part of the mastering process.
Yeah, when we break it.
And it is just a case of putting a limiter on every one of these groups just to tame the peaks. We're not doing much. Let's see what's actually going on in here.
Oh no!
Boosting
oh no!
Is it falling?
Hang on 2 seconds.
The green screen.
Sorry, fellas. I've broken the fourth wall.
Aye. Right, let me just have a look at this. So I don't even know if it's doing anything at the moment. Oh look, there's
making sure no one can see my behind.
So yeah, it's really not doing much, just catching those peaks so that when we come to do our final master, we're not chasing like those.
Oh no!
What have you done, sunshine?
Just keep talking, Ollie. Everything's fine.
Just keep talking. So yeah, we've got those on the drums, main drum bus, or group. But there's not really much processing going on with our drums. We don't really have to do that anymore since creating the return tracks. So we've got our drum bus 1. So our main drum, where is it? Here, gets sent to return track 2, which is our drum bus 1, which is a bit of a New York style compression.
Sorry about that, everyone.
And we talked about.
I broke the blind.
Yeah, I did see it. All it looks like it's gone a bit wrong.
No, it's fine now. Look, you wouldn't even know.
Very nice.
I think I might.
This is something we.
Karen.
This is something we talked about before that we technically do wrong, but it sounds good. On our return track, where we have the New York compression, scooping the mids, then smashing it through glue compressor, we've got the dry wet set to 50/50. And we shouldn't, because it's in a return track.
Yeah.
But I like it like this, and it's not given us any phasing issues yet. So
well, that's the thing. As long as your correlation, you just look at the correlation meter at the end of it and be like, "Have I got away with it?"
Yeah, just do a mono test. Everything's fine. But that drum bus gets sent to the next drum bus, which is the same thing but a little more intense. And we just kind of tweak these a little bit if necessary. Absolutely smashing it through the bus, camel crusher, and then pushing it into a limiter. This just gives us a completely. Go on, CPU cooking. And then with all our drums in. Whoop. So we don't really have to do much processing on the drum group itself because it's all done in our return tracks.
Ah, yes.
Which is nice. So should we move on to the bass next? That's what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah.
See. So what have we got going in on this
Big
track?
farty boys.
Big farty boys.
It's a mixture
and
of massive
players.
and serum, isn't it?
Was there massive in there? There might have been.
Yeah, I think there's one massive and a load of serums.
One of these sounds was made from a saw wave that I took out of. I think I took it out of Serum, and I put it into Sampler.
Nice.
That's this one here. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
So that is just a saw wave I took. I just made a simple like detuned Reese, and brought that into Sampler, and then we've got a operator down here, just putting a sine wave underneath it. So it's always nice. If I turn the auto filter off, it just goes. It's just got some FM, so that's what it'd be normally, but it FMs over time. The volume of the FM comes up. And makes it screech out, and then the auto pan flutters it around. So I've just automated the amount to go up over time, and then the rate goes down. So it kind of opens up and then slows down. And then there's a load of reverb on there, just kind of like making it nice and spacey. And then we have this other one here, which is exactly the same thing. I just fucked around with the FM. What's this one? Is FM'd with a sine, and this one's FM'd with a sine. So what did I change? 8, 6.7. The coarse value.
Huh.
That one's really high. And then instead of the auto filter flapping, we've just got the auto pan flapping. We've just got the filter. So that's the sound on its own. And the auto filter just kind of opens it up and it gives it that extra kind of bit of movement. And then there's the big boys. So these just been totally resampled and smashed. You can even see this trash on them again.
That's the one I thought was massive.
No, I think it was Serum.
Oh, really?
What's this one? Farty Gremlin Neuro Messy Boy. Yeah, this is it. There's really not much going on. I mean, I just turned all the effects on because...
Yeah. I like Serum's effects, right?
Map, just keep mapping things. Map. But that got a bit messy, so that's why we ended up resampling it out. And
trying to work out what to do.
We've got these stabs up front. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So what did we do? How did we resample to get there? I'm pretty sure we'd literally just froze this down and probably went through a bunch of different trash presets. Right?
Yeah, we would have octaved one up, put the higher one through like a scrapey sort of trash preset or something. It's just all about layering, isn't it? And knowing that you've got to layer it on the frequency.
It's just layering the right way.
Yeah,
it's really easy to get it wrong, but like things like this notch, like just didn't need that frequency there. I think we had that mapped at one point.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. This is the one main thing though. The main change in this song is that riff. So if we go to drop 1, it goes bum bum. Bum. It didn't do that.
Yeah.
It didn't go down in the other version, did it? It did like a whole nother like moved around too much. It didn't like just slam.
It just needed something, some main central bit of it switching up.
Yeah. So yeah, we
Sorry,
eventually through a lot of arranging got that.
Screen.
It's all good. And there's stuff down here that got turned off. I don't know what these were, but oh, they got used in a later section.
Yeah, they're bits of the vocoder bass, aren't they?
Yeah. So there's that alter ego trick that I.
Oh yeah. Wow, the Twitch website is just broken.
This one. There we go.
Yeah.
So that was Alter Ego, which is a free voice to text to voice thing, really. And I did a lot of processing to get it there, but I don't think it was. I think I used Nectar.
Yeah, that's
and a few other things.
You can usually get. I've got that VST Speak thing, which is a super simple one, but with Nectar you can get some results.
Alter Ego. And you could just type in what you want and kind of cycle through a few voices. I think I then vocoded it with one of our basses, and I ended up with this. Maybe Corpus I used and a couple of other bits.
Yeah.
That really helped later on, layering into some like over some other bass bits. Like...
Sounds like it says a dashend when it's on its own.
A dashend.
A dashend.
A dashend. And then there's a few other little like weird chippy choppy bits later on in the drop, which are again just samples of the. That was messing around with
I mean, honestly, we probably make about 3 bass noises for a song and then just resample them, don't we?
Pretty much. Yeah, this whole. That whole thing. That sits really nicely with. Is it this one?
Yeah.
That was just messing with that formant thing. That yeah, and after a lot of moving stuff around, we kind of ended up here. So we've still got one instance of the serum patch open here that we kept farty gremlin bass. We kept it as MIDI, and I think that was just because we were changing notes so late into the game, weren't we?
Yeah.
So it just helped to.
Sometimes it's just not.
Back.
Yeah, you just can't freeze. You've got other things you need to be doing with it.
Yeah, and then these ones we added in right at the end, all these extra.
Yeah.
They're really late games. They didn't end up getting resampled because they were like placed. They were made for a space in the song almost.
Yeah. You'll go.
Everything else we do is kind of like puzzle pieces.
Yeah, you'll go MIDI audio and then a tiny bit of MIDI again. Usually when you're just adding things
like
on.
The final
as long as
bit.
it's simple and you're not having any triggering issues or something.
So, this song actually has a lot of paddy kind of atmosphere to it. I think the whole EP does, really, doesn't it? It's got quite nice ambient-y things. But yeah, I was really inspired just to do one of those. Everyone's got to have a song that starts with monster growls. That was just like used to be the thing, right?
Yeah.
So I went on to, I think they're in the SFX section down here. I went into Free Sound and I found myself some monsters.
Free Sound is a great resource.
Cthulhu and some robotic elephants. There's just a little bit of white noise down here that is up, so that's all nice and creepy. So that's how I started the whole song. I just placed them. I was like, right, they have to go there. Now we have to create some like dark ambience.
You start with like one concept or just like funny thing in your head, don't you? And it all just stems out from that.
Yeah, well, I was listening to Joe Ford's new EP, and I was just like, fucking heavy. It's so heavy, and I just had to write something really heavy.
Yeah.
So then I was like, right, heavy things start with monster growls.
Yeah,
so I put the monster growls down.
Early 2000s.
And then it was just working on this kind of atmosphere. So we got the healing bowls, which were the quiet sound VST, which has got that kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, we just got one of them downstairs. The missus is always coming up. It doesn't relax me at all. She comes right at my ear and then bam.
So it's got this RP thing coming up. I love that bit. That's so fun to play on the bass.
Adapt and survive.
And then there's that thing's fucking creepy.
We should have that in here, mate.
Yeah, we should. So yeah, it's this big thing kind of going, and then this. I remember making this and be like, oh, it's all gone wrong, but I just kind of rode with it.
I remember this.
So yeah, that's the majority of the atmosphere created by that, and I was just messing around with this this one pad that I'd made in Serum, obviously, because you can see where I've frozen it down. And just like, yeah, by putting manipulator on it and
we're using Serum for more of our pads. We used to use Absinthe a lot, didn't we?
Yeah, I find that I'm doing a lot more simple stuff and just continuing with the resampling that we kind of do on our bases.
I resample way more than I synthesize now, I think.
Yeah, that's it. You can start with the simple sound. And I think all of the pitching on this I actually done with clip transposition.
Done with my hammer.
This one goes higher. It's kind of tedious, but I find myself doing this quite a bit if I just want a bit of like movement in something that I've already rendered out or whatever. You could cut it up and try and put it into a synthesizer and write some things, but sometimes it's nice just to kind of ride the pitch of it. And then we've got some kind of like cinematic-y bits that come up in the... Where is it? I thought there was a digger. Yes, this one was Absinthe. It was just a big choir mechanoids. But I just took the lows out of it and put a frequency shifter on it and just slowly pitched it. Yeah, it's just a super simple riser. Just get a pad. I think I did octaves with the notes. Yeah, E, and then had the next E, and then the next E. So it was already building up, and then frequency shifter on there, and just pitch that frequency shifter up over the build.
Yeah, it just gives you a nice rising with the rising in octave.
Rising with the riser.
Rising with the rising.
We've got something else down here.
Falling
I think this is
with the
something you added.
fall.
Clicks and pops. You can kind of hear them. It just adds a bit of atmosphere in there.
Yeah.
Section. That's kind of cool. And then, is there any extra pads? Are there any other bits? What's this guy over here? Air. We've got some air that comes in over here in the roller section.
Yeah, just like side-chained high-frequency air. It's usually found by taking bits of another sound out, like you take it out of another sound.
And then it's just being pitched up. Yeah, transposition, modulation. Again, just building it up before the end. And this is, what's this one? That's that one again that we pitched around. Yeah, just really building it up with frequency shifters pretty much. And then we just have our sub bass, which got changed for this EP. We generally have one sub bass for everything.
Yeah.
It's just those low frequencies are needed. So what did we do recently? Mr. Bill put out a video about using the oscilloscope.
Oh yeah.
So we did that and kind of really honed in our sub bass. And now we're sidechaining it, which is something we didn't used to do. Little pops and clicks in there, but what are you going to do? I don't know if those pops and clicks weren't as noticeable when it was at higher...
Why don't you talk a little bit about how the sub bass is actually set up, because a lot of people struggle with their sub bass, so if anyone is watching.
It's such a long process. It was so long ago that we started. But it is, it's just...
It begins with operator, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just a sine wave. It's just a sine wave, that's all it is. And then a second oscillator I added in more recently, which is a little bit detuned, and that just adds a little bit of wobble to the bass after a
detuned in
while.
like the sense, isn't it, rather than the
yeah,
set?
yeah. So it just gives it a little bit of a wobble.
A
And then we are crushing it, Camel Crusher. You can replace that with an amp though, just British clean. It's just
You're right.
no, hold on. There we go. This button, that button. There we go. By the time we get to the end, it doesn't even do that much difference. It's just adding little bits of warmth. That's what that is. I think I've got almost everything turned on. Compressor. Filter's not really necessary. We'll turn that off. Tube neck. And then it's kind of halfway down on the mix. Pushing it into a saturator, so 6 dB in and 6 dB on the down on the output. Auto filter to get rid of everything above 130. But then we saturate it again to add more in above 130. Yeah. It's kind of like about adding overtones and getting rid of them. Multiband, which is, I'm only soloing it. I'm not doing anything. That's just, again, getting rid of
there's
anything
a setting
above 120.
Or is that remove sub-frequencies? There's a setting on multiband that'll do that for you as well.
And then we've got 2 more of these saturators. An OTT. And the amount is all the way down, but I still have it there. I have that. A bit of overdrive, adding some stuff at around 500. A utility with a bit of gain on it, and then the sidechain. So it's quite simple, really,
it's
for
a
how
lot of simplistic processing.
Yeah. And if we were to turn all of these off, just go back to operator. This is the sub. I can't hear that in my headphones.
No.
So if we go on with the Camel Crusher, then the first saturator. The auto filter. Now I can hear it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just really find that helps smash everything through. So we've got these big bass lines up here, but on our bass channel we have remove sub frequencies. So we've got everything below 120 being cut out of our bass channel. So if I was to solo this and we come to the drop section and I take that off, just unmute that. And then get rid of the sub frequencies. So it just helps clean it up a bit, and then we have the sub down here doing its own thing. It generally follows, doesn't it?
Yeah, just about.
A few more rhythms, a few less rhythms.
A few boo boo.
Yeah. There's one of the boo 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 boos. Yeah. And that's pretty much it for this track. I mean, it's a real fucking heavy, mad track, but it's really not too much going on. It's just what's going on is in the right place.
Yeah, I think you stop overcomplicating things to a certain degree once you get a bit more comfortable.
This has got like 90 channels in it. So it's a big boy. But it didn't feel too complicated. The hardest thing with this one felt like getting the flow of it.
Yeah.
Once we got those big old nasty sounds, it was like, yeah. And then it was just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it.
What do you want to do? Do you want to play it through a little bit? Because we didn't play it through at the start, did we?
Yeah, I mean, we can do. Let's go from the beginning and...
Adapt and survive.
This is a really weird bit of the flow, I remember. Hey, no, got no funk in the track in the chat. You right, mate? How you doing? Managing 90 tracks is a bit mad, but a lot of them are just like kind of single sound hits or little sections that we've kind of got together.
Things have gone really badly wrong.
Oh, what's happened down there? Has your thing fallen off again? Yeah, that's it for this one. Should we jump into Dauer State? Shall we do it? Dun, 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 dun. No, it's not that one. That's Proxism.
Things are getting like progressively worse back there.
What has happened?
Like my entire blind system is like I've broken one thing and the whole blind system is just disintegrating.
Oh no.
It's such bad mojo. Like both the blinds have fallen down behind the green screen. Like it's just this one hook holding it up. It looks so pro, but it's honestly, this is all about to fall on me.
Sit forward, everything will be fine.
Yeah, I'm just...
so yeah, I'm just opening up Dauer State now.
Be quick, I might be about to be enveloped by my rear wall.
So there's a lot of things that you'll see similar in Dauer State, like our entire template and the way everything's set up.
If you look at the difference between, what is it, Dojo and... Was it Adapt and Survive or Dauer State? The one I just used the same drums for.
Adapt and Survive, you literally used the same drums. You just took my project.
This is brilliant. And like watching him try and work out if that is okay because we like made music together. He was like,
oh yeah.
Oh, but I cut
you'll
corners.
See. Oh, it's fine. Corners shall be cut.
And hopefully that's not one of them.
That all ended up getting turned off. Ozone, I ended up doing that separately.
Yeah.
EQ turned off. Upper ceiling turned off. Tonal balance is just for metering. Julian is for metering, and spans for metering. But yeah,
you always call it Julian, like you're like, well.
Julian.
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 I prefer Julian. I think you sound better.
Oily. Yeah, so we can look. It's pretty much the same thing. We've got
Give him a little bit of a playthrough first this time.
All right, but I'll just say the template. It's the same, right? We've got our drums at the top, everything else with bass, pads or SFX, color coded so we know what's going on. Our returns all set up down there. Sub bass at the bottom, and usually some other things that end up like just chucked out because we don't know where to put them. That's just what happens. So this track, some people might recognize because we started it on a live stream. Oh, it's going to be loud, isn't it? I put a utility on the...
I don't think that was like life-endingly loud. So
let's go. There we go. So yeah, we started this one on a live stream, didn't we? Sometime many moons ago.
Yeah, it was just a production live stream.
Yeah. Where's our tom roll? So basically, this entire track
needs more cowbell.
By the end of it, so someone commented saying "nice snare" in Dauer state, right?
How funny that he'd bring this up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 snares in this
13
track.
snare. We bring you 30. It's Stonx 13 snare.
So our kick drum, I think we've got like a nice little poppy kick drum in this one. It's kind of like a because the bass is so big. It's like a real it's like a bouncy ball.
Yeah, it's a clicker almost.
Oh, it's got a bit of dot to it. And then down here, I think we've got a pitched up version just to get that kind of da-dum. So you get that kind of.
Oh, he's lost control of his door.
There we go. And that's just a pitched up version. But our snares, that's where all the fun happens. So we've got this one main snare running throughout. Which is quite nice. Let's go over to this section where it changes all the time. So there's the one main snare with this underneath it, just doing a couple of extra bits. So there's even more snare drums than I said because I wanted more. So when they're layered together, it just does that same thing as the breaks. It just kind of changes the feel.
Yeah, boom, cap, boom, cap, boom, cap, boom, cap.
But you've still got your one main snare in there. Then there's this one, which this is my favourite snare in this song. Not just the sound of it, the placement of it. It's the one that goes for clap. It's got that like really falling over sound. This is from Toe Jam and Earl, the Mega Drive game. Like a real clicky sounding clap. But amongst all the snares, this one has such a nice groove. It just really helps that. It's got this really nice cheese to it. There's another one of my snares down here. It's just like doing nothing, but it's there. It's this kind of bit of something. Big, weird, reverbed one. And these are all like... It's questionable how much this is necessary, but I've found when I was listening to the song on repeat, the snare drum got boring to me. Just that clap, clap, clap. It's on the 2 and 4. You know, it's pretty simple drums in that way. So to keep it interesting, just changing the samples all the time really helped.
Yeah.
So
gives it more of a live jam feel.
So that's another one from Mega Drive. So it's just really crap sample. But
just play the drum loop all together.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through the one other snare because it goes from that one and it changes to this one. Just a really pitched up one. So if we listen to all of the drums together, wait, what we got on the hats? Turn the hats off, even though they're just simple. So all together we got this. little ghost snares, this one here. It's just like how it's literally the ghost hits. It's what your stick would be doing in between the main hits. And then down here for our hi-hats, I think they're pretty simple little tickers. Yeah, just simple little tickers. And all together, the drums just have a real nice groove in this one, just to fit around that bass. Reverb opens up. Cowbells down here, isn't it? This layer. Some totally mashed up break that we've somehow jammed in there, which is kind of standard as well. And is this the cowbell? No, we've got a little bit of ride. And there's the cowbell. Just got that kind of more groove happening in that high end, really, isn't it?
Yeah, pulls it along.
And we did spend a long time getting these drums finalized, but actually just chucking them in. It's quite a simple little beat. There's nothing really to it. It was just when it came to the mix, getting them all to glue together. And this is it's one of those ones where is layering always the right option? Could we have done this with just a couple of snares and better EQing? Possibly, but I really like the feel that we achieved. It has a real nice kind of groove to it, and like I say, it's just trying to get that kind of humanization back into it.
Yeah.
So the bass of this one is quite a bit of fun. It is just an Ableton stock instrument, which is the hand drums drum kit. It sounds like this. If we turn off corpus and frequency shifter.
From such humble beginnings.
So what did we do to it? Oh, that was on there already, maybe, the bit of reverb. So we took a frequency shifter, and that pretty much does the majority of the work.
Yeah.
So seriously, guys, ring mode is amazing on frequency shifter. So the before and after is. So what ring mode does is it like shifts things in both directions. So it takes your frequency for frequencies in the middle, and it totally just does that. And when you start getting down to the lower frequencies, it like gives you mad nasty wobbles. So from there we crushed it into a corpus, which just gave us as if you're shoving those wobbles through a tube, and then you get just even more of that. So because that's only drums, it wasn't playing any notes. We had to kind of figure out what notes it was playing.
Yeah.
So along with it goes this little operator, which I think was square wave. Yep, just 2 squares. And I've just got that bang in the center, just kind of playing the notes. And we just used that to kind of help us figure out what the notes should be, and then they were reinforced in the sub down here. So we end up with. It's kind of a real headbanger riff, though. Dum 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 dum. But those subs really reinforce that freaked out frequency split hand drum, and you just get this little bit the operator in the middle. That's the majority of this song, really. It just really rides on that.
Well, we found one bit that we really liked with it and was like, I don't want to change too much there.
Yeah.
And loads of people love it.
We added in a bunch of like little snips and chops as always. So we've got these kind of little and rounds and
little dogs and cats.
Yeah. Beep. Just literal, they're snippets from other basses from other songs. That's all that is, really. There's another little one down here that comes in. Fruity.
A fruity.
Fruity wubba dubba. What's this one down here? Just these tiny little noises. What's some more down here? La la la. That was doing our normal trick of beats mode, just to kind of chop something up. So the only other bass that comes in here was a freaked out serum patch. Was it? Or was it what? Did it end up getting resampled?
Yeah.
It must have got resampled. Yes, it ended up in a sampler. I can't remember what I did to make that so stupid. That's filtering that.
Sounds like the pitch is going down, the filters on it. Like...
Yeah, pitch filter at the beginning, then the filters opening up with one LFO controlling a different LFO's speed. So then what was the sound at the beginning? Let's see if we can find out. Turn these two off. That's the sound it started with. So with the pitch envelope. And the FM. And then just getting it down low. I'm pretty sure that goes out of time, and that's what I really like about that section. Is it feels like after this ding 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 ding, it's like really straight. It then ends up just like.
I don't know if it's quite out of time. It just lurches around the beat.
And we've still actually got that main instrument here. So that's that main instrument. And I don't really think it sounds like the bass line changes there. It's still kind of there. But it's not doing that dum dum dum. And then we've got this little square in the middle, just. And it just helps fill up some of the room. And I think, oh, come on, Ableton. Whoa, it's having a bad time. There we go.
Straight up having a bad time, dog.
I think this was a version. What was this version? Pitched up with a manipulator, maybe. Yeah.
I like manipulator. Barry setting.
And a bunch of width added up here. It's 178%. So that just kind of helps spread that section. This section is all about this other bass that comes in. So that's a really cool trick with the pitch envelope. If you set this decay right, you can have some crazy kind of. Which is just the sound that everyone loves. It's just a great one to kind of get that organic movement. A lot of the time, I'd like to try and set my LFOs up in rate mode rather than sync mode. Because even though you can get 16ths being like wob, 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 if you get the rate and it's not quite right, it just sounds, I don't know, I think it sounds better. It's got more like something to it. So what else have we got in this track? There's a few paddy things, but kind of not much. Most of the space is taken up by the hand drums. So let's have a look.
Well, that's the thing. Anything else that I was trying to add, I was like, it just screws with the drums.
So at the beginning, we've got it here without the frequency shifter, so it's like hinting at what's coming with the melody. Got these drones, which is a tail frozen off or something. We've got wavetable doing something up here. Let's have a look.
It's getting the you know, the high pitch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Seems really overcomplicated for such a simple noise, doesn't it? Why? What was going on?
What were you doing? I remember opening that and being like, what? It's tiny. This is showing the Ableton's workflow. You can go a little far.
This is why I end up resampling though, because we end up with like this much on something, and it's just like, sample it down. Don't want to look at it anymore. And what's going on in these guys down here?
General suspense. General suspense.
I think this was the fluty stuff, wasn't it, that all got added? It's like we kind of tried to add a melody in there a couple of times, but just kind of gave up, I think. It's just kind of general atmosphere and suspense, isn't it, really? And what comes in here? Click, 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 click. Really not much.
Definitely. Sorry, I got the STONXCAST sleeps again. It's definitely one of the more minimalist ones we've done. Like we have a tendency of putting as much as we can into something, and this is definitely a more refined track.
Yeah. I'm trying to think where that drum fill was from, but I think it was like someone on YouTube or something. Something happened to it there, and then the it really rolls in nicely.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if we cut that up or stretched it. I can't even remember. And that is the majority of this track. Then we've got
go to the halftime bit, and then we'll
weird little halftime section,
finish
right?
off, and then I've got a hot date with many packets of Monster Munch. I'm starving.
So the halftime section, we just totally changed the drums. We just changed everything, right?
Yeah, we just went through it. It's like as busy as you can be while still being quite minimal.
So how many snares? What was there going on?
20.
That's the main snare up here. It's just like boom! That resonant frequency.
Sounds like a fax machine underwater.
And then with the kick.
That whole rhythm's like just about to attack you. Like
everything else grooves so much. I think there's one thing that I can't remember who said it. I was reading it, and it was the B section. Your bridge is meant to be what makes the rest of the song sound good, and that definitely happens in this case because you're like, you're building up this boom, 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 and instead you get. There.
It's really funny. At one point, like just before we released this, you told me you took all the gunshots out of it, and you didn't.
I took some of them out.
I'm sure you said there's still like plenty.
There's plenty. That's why I took some out. I don't even know
how many did I put in.
Exactly.
I like guns. Ollie's got a thing. He's got a thing about me and sirens.
There we go. That was my cat meowing back there.
You've always got the cat in
everywhere. Cat's got to be on one of the EPs somewhere. That's it. That's all it is. A bit of fun, and then it kind of slowly deteriorates into I think we just like double time.
We should run competitions. Like the person who finds the cat sample in the EP will like give 3 hours
get
less
free
to
cat.
or something.
I was going to say get a free cat t-shirt
or a catapult. Have you not seen that Family Guy episode?
I remember this bit was really hard. We were like, I don't know what to do. It was like, it just didn't work. And I still think it doesn't work, but that's what I now like about it. I like the fact that it's like, it sounds like someone's awkwardly trying to mix 2 tracks together.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, fuck it. Just slide the faders to the left just to stick with that track.
So it's me DJing.
Yeah, pretty much. And then that's it for this track, really, isn't it?
Well, that's good because I'm.
No, it's not. There's all of your instruments.
He's done it.
There's your instruments that you added at the bottom.
Oh, don't talk about them. They're rubbish.
Well, I ended up turning a few of them off, but no, it adds vibes.
Oh wait, no, I like these ones.
Yeah.
I put loads of sitar in it. I can write world music.
Yeah, I like the way that they kind of sit within it. It's just like.
I forgot these were rubbish.
They're just kind of in the background. We tried mixing them a bit louder, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It felt like they just needed to sit back there. Like,
well, it's
the whole
same
song's
thing, isn't it? Because the percussive's so important. It's just anything else
this
you
is like,
you're adding like 50% of what you'd expect to.
Yeah, and the sub takes up so much of that kind of room because it's working with it. It's really like boom, boom. It's really thudding along.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then same thing with the final mix and master. It's kind of like we have spent a long time perfecting this.
It's all
perfecting. Yeah. It's just like it's iterative. It's the one thing I say. It's an iterative process, right? Oh look, I turned the sidechain off on this track. In the end. So yeah, we just keep working on this template. So it does look really complicated.
It's a constant whip, but
yeah,
the actual processing behind it's not so complicated. It's just the amount of different ways it's doing it.
Yeah, and the fact that we can just add on to it and we don't have to remember everything.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that wouldn't work for me. I need to be in a home.
So we've got pretty much in all of these, we've got inflator and then limiter, and it is just about like kind of smashing it. Inflator's just a saturator, really. It's giving you more harmonics.
It's a very organised saturator.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the master, we kind of try and keep it as clear as we can. utility, bass mono, and then a little bit of EQ.
A little bit of the old.
7K I didn't like. Inflator, not doing too much. Clipping, because we all love a bit of clipping. And the limiter, again, not doing too much. But we limit every single one of our groups. And we're doing the same thing. We're saturating, limiting.
Yep.
Saturating, limiting. Saturating, limiting. The SFX didn't need it. Glitchy bit at the end. Your sitars, they got saturated then limited. The sub gets saturated a ton of times anyway. And then the master, it only needs a little bit of the same saturation and limiting. And then we did run all of these. We double mastered this EP.
Yeah.
We ran it all through Ozone afterwards, didn't we?
Yeah.
Really mild, but just that extra bit of
see how
inflator.
much it changed if we check with the assistant.
Yeah, and it changed a little bit, so we did it. That's pretty much it.
Right.
Right, shall we leave it with these 2 tracks?
Yeah, should we go to full screen mode? Well, if we try and do another 2 tracks, I'll die of hunger. I've got lack of Snickers going on. I can't run my life. I only had a mini brioche for breakfast.
Right, I'll press stop share and you go to the other
All right. Uno,
overlay.
dos, tres, go. Ooh! Oh wait, no. Has it knocked me out of focus? What?
And me, both of us.
El bastardo!
Move back in focus. Oh, we're unfocused now. Hold on, if I stop video and start again. I'm in focus.
Oh, right, this hasn't worked. Hang on, let me stop my... I've got to go to the bloody other side of the room to stop my fucking...
Oh, no.
I've been up the fucking... up, down, all around.
Yeah, hopefully you learned a thing or two about how we kind of run our projects.
Not our live streams.
Not our live streams. It's not. Our workflow isn't perfected yet, but it's definitely getting there, and we're getting bigger, cleaner, fatter sounds every time, which is cool.
Right. Hang on. Hey kids, I'm back.
So yeah, if you want to get hold of that template, it's been in a few of the YouTube videos.
Yeah, various
already.
Iterations of it. It's pretty much open source project, isn't it?
Yeah, essentially.
So
once
check
we
out
redo our
YouTube
website,
videos.
it'll be up on
be
there.
in some of his YouTube videos, I guess.
Yeah, once we redo the website, we'll have it up on there as an actual download linked.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, we can have and we'll always, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Then people always have a template and go through. I might do some for different genres, to be honest.
Yeah, this is my main one. Like, I just use this for everything in varying iterations.
Well, you said you don't like making anything but drum and bass at the moment, anyway.
No, pretty much. The latest thing I added was a whole new return channel on this one, which was
the widener.
The widener.
The widener.
And this EP does sound big and fat and wide, so maybe that's helped.
It's true.
Don't know.
Right. Have we got
the main thing for me with the template
Okay.
is I was just saying the main thing with the template is it just helps you not have to remember everything.
Yeah, true.
There's stuff that you do every time. There's no point remembering it.
All right. Have you got anything that we want to round up on? Should we let people know how the release is going?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, it's going
You're
well.
the advert man.
Yeah, it's going well. See you later. Yeah, everything's going pretty decently. We're getting really good rates on our adverts, which means the targeting's working really well. Thank you, Noisier fans and Skrillex fans, for being super easy to target. And we got at least 1,000 streams, maybe 1,200 streams on SoundCloud already in the first 3 days. I think we're looking at around about the same, maybe a little bit more on Spotify. I'm going to look at tracking the adverts and squeezing the most out of them this evening, because I've got one advert finishing today.
Nice.
So I'll probably extend that because it's been working well. I just want to find out the best way to do it. We have had lots of people on Instagram reposting it, DJing it, loads more attention than we've had of any other release.
Yeah, we've got our awesome pigeon meme.
Oh yeah, shout out
Addicts.
to the D&B Addicts Facebook page. The geezer there's fucking he's safe as fuck actually. He made us
that proper cracks me up.
Yeah, he
that
made us a brilliant Dauer State themed video meme. So obviously, and we've been reposting each other's stuff. So the networking's starting to happen on Instagram. I've commented on enough things. People are coming to play now. We've got 100 Spotify followers. We should have 300 SoundCloud followers by the time that this finishes, maybe, or 299. We've got 700 people on Instagram now. The Facebook's at 1,100. I'm about to turn my attention to the Twitch, which is obviously this. and the Twitter as well. So yeah, every release bolsters us on a little bit more. And then the main thing is as we said, we're never going to get huge amounts of money off the streaming, so we're going to start using our streaming prowess to try and look for sync deals and stuff. I want to be in your like phone advert or something, like the this phone will literally tickle your balls, that kind of thing. This is why I try
2021 goals, right?
This is why I try and stay sleepy for most of the stream. But yeah, so Adapt and Survive release is going way better than any of the other ones because I put more money into it and I'm better at it.
Yeah, running the adverts. I think it's a better EP as well. We really
it's a better EP. And yeah, it's marketing really well at the moment. We're getting everything done. Obviously, this is part of the marketing because we're doing the release special, so we'll be posting this. We've got your bass performance video coming up. I'm going to be doing an Ashima studio tour because I can't play an instrument anymore. And then we're going to have the YouTube video went out the other day, so you can go and long listen to it. I'm mixing it over in the corner at the moment. Loads of stuff is going on. Loads of stuff. It's going to be... Hang on. It's going to be incredible. Incredible. Give me your soul.
It does look like you're eating that thing's arse out.
Who says I'm not, man? Who says I'm not? It's 2020. It's 2020. What do you...
Oh,
no.
It's done now.
It's not. This was the problem we had before. This was like a Furby when I had... Oh, dear. Well, other than me doing a fine favour for that horse rather than a unicorn, I guess. Right, so Adapt and Survive's going really well. Look into that. Buy our music. Look into that. Buy our music. If I move this down, can you see his eye? Oh, nearly.
Just about. Hopefully we should be in a D&B Dojo's thing should be coming out.
Yeah. We can shout out about that now. We've been told by the blog D&B Dojo that they're going to give us some support in December on their social and their podcast. So not their main website, but the social and podcast. So keep an eye out for that. Obviously, we'll be reposting it. Yeah. Big shout out to D&B Addicts, that page, actually, because I've had loads of fun chatting to him during this release and stuff. Nice. So shout out to you. And yeah, we will be trying to pick back up the production live streams throughout the week. We missed them out because we were working on the release.
Busy.
So yeah,
check out
coming back
on Spotify, YouTube, Soundcloud.
Yeah, everywhere.
Deezer, Tidal,
Napster, iHeartRadio, but mostly Spotify because that's where we're trying to get the streams. And have you got a video? Have you got a video Mondaying? This, of course, yeah. This it gets YouTube, doesn't it? So we got this coming on the Monday, and then we got stuff on Tuesday. Well, one of us is live streaming.
I'll be streaming on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're going over Simpler, the instrument, which is a big instrument for me. I use it a lot.
So videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Live streaming on Tuesday and Thursday, and then this live on Sunday right now, as if you're watching it now. We have been Stonx Music. My name is James Ollie. This is Ollie or Score. Who wants to say goodbye? And
nice one, everyone.
Yeah, I've been fighting like a 3-day migraine, so I'm gonna go and eat loads of chicken, and then I'm gonna ram my head into a wall.
Bang! Well, enjoy yourself.
Right. Anyway, shall I
we'll catch up
send
with you
us
later.
Majestically off the air?
Yeah.
All right. Peace and love,
nice
people.
One,
go stream Adapt to Survive on Spotify. Please do it. Do it forever. Put it on repeat. Woo!